Welcome to Grace Among Us, the podcast where we unearth the many faces and places of grace and share stories of the power of grace in our human lives. Our desire is that this will inspire you to see grace in your own life and share it with others.
Hello. My name is Carrie Richard. I am a mindset coach, and I help people make space and enjoy the ride, enjoy this beautiful life that's here for all of us. And I am doing one of my very favorite things, which you guys hear all the time, and it's to talk with my dear friend, Ebony Gilbert, about grace. So, hey, hi, Ebony.
Hey, Carrie, good day. How are you?
It is a good day. I am great. How are you?
If you're great, I'm great.
Okay, good. Sounds good.
Yeah, then we're great. Let's be great.
Okay.
I am well. I'm very well. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, absolutely. We had a little chit chat before we get on this spot and speak about grace. And one of the beautiful things about life and one of the things that is tough about life is everything is always changing, right?
Constantly.
Yeah. And, I have a dad who's 90 and, and friends, myself, we're all aging. Things are shifting. Life is changing, and I don't always like it. And based on some experiences over the last week or so, there's this concept. The more real I am about the current situation, whatever is going on, the more access to grace I have.
I could not agree with you more.
Yeah. And as we were speaking, it's like, okay, do I put on my game face or do I ask for grace?
Yeah. I'm right there with you, particularly coming right off of the Christmas holiday, and I'm sure you were overwhelmed as I was overwhelmed and had more on our plates than we probably bargained for. And when you say asking for grace, sometimes it doesn't come out in the form of that question. Sometimes for me, this past week, asking for grace was saying, I can't do it by myself. It was, hey, can you help me? I might need a little help. Or I'm not, little things, when people say, how are you feeling? How are you doing? What's going on? I'm like, I'm having a hard time right now.
Yeah.
Just saying that opens this wide door. It's almost like these scoping glass doors that nobody even knew were there.
Yeah.
They just start to open, and all of a sudden, the grace comes in.
Absolutely. As you say that, it reminds me of this idea, I hear often in different ways, like, I don't have to be anything more than what I am right now to receive grace.
In this moment.
Like, I don't have to be honester or be healthier or be anything to receive all of the love and grace that's here for me. And my humanness, my ego, pride, whatever, wants to put this game face on that, like, I got it. And that usually the more that I want to do that, the more I need grace in that moment.
Right. And who's to say, Carrie, you can't have it all together and be in charge and be in control and still need grace? Like, why are those two things different? Like,
I think I love it. You've nailed it. You've just nailed it. I need grace all the time.
All the time, even when I'm in boss mode.
Yeah.
Even when I'm knocking it out the park.
Because I'm not the boss anyway.
Right. I still need, my guy, Big G up there to come show up for me, because I'm not in boss mode without the big boss showing up for me.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. The more vulnerable you are, the stronger you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a blade of grass, right? It bends in the wind. It's flexible in the wind. Like that rigid, it doesn't work.
I've never seen a blade of grass stand alone. I've never seen one blade of grass ever. It's interesting. I'm about to be cheesy here for a second. Go with me.
Okay.
Uh, I was blurring my background before you came on screen, and they had this option. Can you see this background now?
Mm-hmm.
They had this grass option. And I thought to myself, that's busy. And then you get on here and make a grass reference. And I'm like, well, how convenient. Because grace is this grass.
Yeah.
And when you make yourself vulnerable, this sea of grass that never stands alone, there's never one blade, envelops you. And all of a sudden you're protected and you're covered with this sense of I'm a lawn freak. You guys have heard me talk about my grass before. So I love the reference. But this grass, this background, first of all, what are the odds that I'm scrolling through Zoom backgrounds? I've never done that in my life, ever.
It's a
And
god.
then
It's a coincidence.
and then you mention a blade of grass in the middle of this conversation that's not even pre-planned. And I remember that there's this stupid grass background that's really busy, and I wasn't going to choose it. And now here it is. And here's what's coming to my mind right now. I chose the blur because I thought the blur was less busy, and it just hid my background, which is what I was trying to do. I was trying to hide, right? Because I'm not
Yeah.
at home, I'm on vacation. And I ended up using the thing that I thought was too much or over the top in reference to what you said about how being vulnerable and what we were talking about by being vulnerable, making you more strong because the grass bends. All of that coming together during this conversation is mind blowing for me right now. Because I was trying to hide. And if
Yeah.
I had just shown up as my authentic self, and I really wanted to choose the grass. Matter of fact, I was kind of tickled by it. I thought, yeah, grass, I love grass. If I had just chosen the authentic choice that I wanted to begin with, it may have even sparked a different route. We said what we were supposed to say, we did what we were supposed to do, we're here now.
Right.
But what a real time example.
I love that.
Am I being a nerd right now?
No, you're not being a nerd. I'm totally nerding out with you. And I want to say that sometimes the grace is permission, right? And I had an experience this last week too, where, something happened with one of my loved ones that I didn't like. I didn't like, and I was there for the experience. And, I wanted to scoop this person up and I wanted to make it okay. I wanted to, because really, honestly, I was uncomfortable that it was happening.
Right. This
Like
makes me uneasy.
I love this person dearly, but it also speaks to my discomfort and attachment and wanting things to be how they used to be. And as we age, that doesn't always happen. So, and by God's grace, I was able to just be present and allow it all to happen and to feel the feelings. And what came to mind is just allowing everyone the dignity of the experience.
Everybody's experience. You get the dignity of your experience.
Yeah. And they get,
He or she gets the dignity of their experience.
yes.
Monogram grace. Grace when it shows up for Carrie Richard is CR.
Yeah.
Grace when it shows up for Ebony Gilbert has a big EG on it.
Yeah.
And all those things can coexist in the same room.
Yeah.
And nobody's lacked because of it, But you got to open those big glass doors of vulnerability and authenticity to allow it to come in.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's good.
I have one more that just came to mind. So I have a challenge going on in my life right now that I don't like. And I have been trying to figure it out myself. And I asked someone directly for help, somebody very close to me. And they were willing to help. And they said, you know what? This has happened to me. And when they said that, I mean, I'm
You
getting
didn't know
teary.
that.
I'm getting teary just in this moment. I have cried about it a couple times because first of all, I didn't know that, but second of all, what it was, that connection, like, hey, I'm human too. Like, you're
Yeah,
not the only one. Like, it's okay.
right.
It's okay.
It's okay to be scared. It's okay to say, I
Yeah.
don't feel good about this.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be right either. It's okay to be paranoid sometimes. Like, it's just okay, you know?
Yeah.
And it's really just okay. I'm gonna get a banner on my forehead. It's just okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it's all right.
There's no need for a game face.
There isn't. The grace is the game face.
Yeah.
No more game face. Put on your grace face. And your grace face says show up how you woke up. Show up with what's in your heart.
Yeah.
And it's allowed to change throughout the day.
And that's what God works with. God works with the real stuff. He can't work with the
The
fabricated
clown.
stuff. Yeah.
The clown face.
Yeah.
The masquerade face.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to practice putting on our grace face with ourselves. With ourselves. It allows for everybody else in the room to have a safe space to put theirs on as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
It makes room. This is powerful. This wasn't our typical 30-minute, but this was powerful in a little bit of time.
Yes. Perfect timing. I love the grass. And I love you, Ebony.
I love you as well, Carrie. Richard. I really do. And we will talk again soon.
Yes.
Until then, grace out.
Grace out.
Put on your grace face.
Amen.
Thank you so much for joining us. If you enjoyed this episode, please let us know. We love to hear from you, and share it with a friend. Also, please be sure to subscribe so you're notified when a new episode is posted. We hope you're leaving with another pointer to grace, a new perspective that will light it up in your own life. Until next time, be well, be bold, be kind to yourself, and be on the lookout.